Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. Drake. This is a video for the microbiology portion of the NBCE Chiropractic Boards Part 1. You'll find a couple of videos in this specific playlist that cover some material for the microbiology section. This is all part of a much larger board prep course. If you're interested in this course or finding out more information about this course, link is in the description below. Go ahead and click that. You can also contact me through my contact information in the description below this video. Thanks and enjoy. All right, more definitions. Talking about microbial lifestyle and kind of the naming components of microorganisms. So naming them based on what they consume. Autotrophs eat inorganic material. Heterotrophs eat organic material. Saprophytes, they are eating the dead or decaying material. It's still organic, but specifically they have to say it is dead or decaying. And then a parasite is eating off of another living organism. Facultative versus obligate. Most commonly, this is used to refer to oxygen concentration. Facultative means that it can kind of grow anywhere in any condition, but sometimes it prefers one over the other. So facultative can grow with or without oxygen. If we call something a facultative aerobe, it grows better in oxygen or reproduces better in oxygen. Facultative anaerobe prefers no oxygen, but if it's in a condition with oxygen, it still can grow. Obligate means that it can only grow in one specific environment. Again, we typically refer to this as in the terms of oxygen. So an obligate aerobe absolutely needs oxygen to survive. If there's no oxygen, it dies. We, for example, us as humans, we're obligate aerobes. Obligate anaerobe cannot have oxygen present to survive, so they need to be in conditions that have zero oxygen. Microaerophilic, this is going to be organisms that can survive in reduced oxygen levels. So high altitude plants, candle jar culture. This is something where essentially you have a jar and you put the culture in there with limited amounts of oxygen, kind of like the mini ecosystems that people make in jars. Where it has limited amounts of oxygen, limited amounts of supplies, and everything just kind of cycles in there. That would be an example of a microaerophilic situation. Now, relationships between organisms, they almost always have at least one question on these being the straight definition. Symbiosis, two populations that live together where either one or both of them can benefit, but for sure neither are harmed by the relationship. Mutualism, this is two populations living together where 100% both of them benefit. A good example of mutualism is there's a specific type of bird that likes to live with around populations of rhinoceri, elephants, as well as hippopotami, however you want to say it. And these birds actually clean the parasites off of the skin of these animals. So the bird gets a meal, the other animal gets their parasites removed. That's an example of mutualism. Both parties benefit from the arrangement. Synergism, this is where two populations live together. They both benefit as well as they both accomplish something extra that could not happen if either of them were alone by themselves. Finally, commensalism. This is the one that they do most commonly like to ask about, just because it's the weirdest sounding of all of them. Commensalism, this is where two populations live together. One benefits, the other one is completely unaffected. Finally, a little more vocab, zoonosis. This is referring to the transfer of disease from animals to humans. This was in the media a lot the past couple of years, talking about, especially with the pandemic and COVID, they were trying to figure out, where this came from, and there was a lot of speculation that it did come from animals, either bats or a pangolin or something like that, and then the disease transferred to humans. So zoonosis, I expect something along those lines. The definition or comparing it to specific diseases is going to be a little bit more frequent in these next couple of exams, just because we're just a little bit past, the whole COVID era situation. All right, cells of the immune system we will cover in the next one.